Ah, Christmas. Such a wonderful time of year. Snow, the lights, and even the food. If I was to ask you which place you'd visit for Christmas, you'd probably say London, New York, maybe somewhere in Canada. I'll think the same too. But what if I told you Cyprus? Where? It's this small island nestled in the Mediterranean, and in this video I'm going to show you all what Cyprus has to offer during the Christmas season. Where to stay, what to see, getting around, budget tips and more. Cyprus is a Mediterranean island known for its rich history, stunning landscapes and vibrant cultures. The island is famous for its sunny beaches, crystal clear waters and ancient ruins like the Tombs of the Kings and Kourion. It's also home to charming mountain villages, lush vineyards and bustling cities like Nicosia, Limassol and Larnaca. With a legacy spanning thousands of years, Cyprus is a unique destination for history buffs, nature lovers and food enthusiasts alike. But what about Christmas? Now this isn't my first Christmas in Cyprus, but I never really did anything before. This year I wanted to explore what Cyprus has to offer and share my journey and experience with you, so next time you can consider Cyprus for Christmas and explore all the wonderful places. Now, having been here nearly every summer and now living here, I know the island pretty well. You have Limassol, Nicosia, Larnaca, Brodaras and Paphos. Limassol is the most central and the most developed city and offers an up-and-coming skyline. Paphos on the west coast has the best sunset and is rich in history. Larnaca is located just up the coast from Limassol and is where the main international airport is. And Brodaras is popular during the summer season but might be a little quieter during the winter. Finally, you have Nicosia, the capital of Cyprus. Each place offers a variety of experiences and I recommend watching other videos before booking your stay. Depending on your budget, you can expect around 50 euros a night for budget accommodation, 80 to 150 euros for mid-range, and if you want to splash out in Cyprus, there's plenty of 5-star hotels and this is a 200 plus euro a night. There are also plenty of Airbnb options. However, if you fancy maybe a night or two in the mountains, there is a current trend here for glamping. It's a nice downtime to relax and get away from all the stresses of technology and enjoy peaceful mountain views. Dome in Nature is the one I recommend and it's the closest to Lefkara Christmas market, and I will leave a link down below. Now let's talk about all the different places you can visit in Cyprus during Christmas. Now the easiest way to do this is to take you on the journey that I went on and share my experience that way. Just note that my time is limited when trying to film this video, as I couldn't visit every place during its peak time. Some of it was during the week compared to the weekend, and the closer you are to Christmas the busier it will be. That being said, let's start off with Paphos. Now there are 3 places I visited in Paphos, and the first was King's Avenue Mall, and this was decked out with Christmas decorations. Here you will find an array of shops and restaurants, so if you fancy a little bit of Christmas shopping, this is the place to go. Here I had a cup of coffee and enjoyed the Christmas ambience while I waited for my friend Sava, where we would meet at the next destination at the harbourfront. Now because this was my first stop on my Christmas journey, not all the Christmas lights were up. However, the Christmas tree was there and we took some photos and walked along the harbourfront. And you can also experience some of the shops and restaurants in the area, as well as Paphos Castle. Here you will also find some of the best sunsets. Just note that the sun sets around 4:30 during the winter. That being said, we waited to the evening where we went to Kennedy Square, which was the main attraction. Here this was fully decorated with Christmas lights and again your usual bars and restaurants, and you can take a walk in and around town. Now Paphos does have some Christmas villages and parades, however I was unable to attend this because I had other places to visit. Now I did visit Kalopanayiotis, which is one of the villages, however I will talk about Limassol first and we'll get to the villages in just a moment. Now in Limassol, the strip is decorated pretty much all the way with lights, from Amathos all the way to the Old Port. Now my first stop here was Molos, and this is a long parade where you can take a stroll and enjoy the Mediterranean climate, grab a coffee and enjoy some of the city views. And you can walk all the way along to the Old Port and the new marina. And this will be a great place to bring kids and enjoy some of the fair rides and food. You can even dine at one of the marina restaurants and bars if you fancy something a little more bougie and enjoy the decorations around the harbour. Then there's Old Limassol, where you can wander the back streets to enjoy and capture the history of the city. Here you will find plenty of boutique shops and dining options. Finally, if you want to splurge on shopping, then head to Anexertisias, where you have an array of retail shops and it's draping in Christmas lights. There is also a parade that is being prepared for, which I was unable to attend as I had much more to explore. And finally, I did come across a private event where the municipal gardens are, and this was only available for a week and was not going to be available all the way up to Christmas. Here there was marquees, lots of handcraft items, food, and even music. This was obviously not as busy at the time I went as it was during the week. However, I expect this to be a lot busier during the weekend. Next up is Nicosia, which is the capital of Cyprus, and it's huge. The main place to visit would be Eleftheria Square, and this is where most events will take place during Christmas. Now on this day that I went to, there happened to be a crafts market where people were selling local handmade gifts and food items. I actually spoke to a couple at one of the stores, Marios and Magrina, who were selling ready-made cake mixes for the holiday season, and they were very welcoming. You can also explore the Ledra Street, which is a charming array of shops and restaurants whilst exploring the architecture of Nicosia. There also happened to be a fun fest set up in Eleftheria Square, so if you fancied a little bit more of a thrill, this is where you can go and have some more excitement. And if you wanted to visit the biggest mall in Cyprus, you have the Mall of Cyprus, which is located just outside of Nicosia. Now the last city stop here is Larnaca. Now the main attraction here is Fikardoou, and the whole strip all the way down past the fort is decorated with lights. Again, there was a fair just like in Nicosia, so if you wanted a little bit of a thrill, you can go and enjoy your time here with friends and family. So this is the main area of Larnaca, so you're spoiled for choice for restaurants and bars. You can always take a walk up and down the strip and even on the back streets. And to my surprise, when I was taking a walk behind on Zinos Street for more Christmas lights with more bars and places to eat on the side roads. There also happened to be a Christmas market, which I missed. I was up in the mountains earlier that day. Now let's take a look at some of the Christmas villages, as these are some of the best spots that you can visit during Christmas. Now Cyprus has some of the best views and landscapes you will ever see, and all the best Christmas markets are actually up in the mountains. Now I mentioned earlier Kalopanayiotis was one of the first villages I went to, so we'll talk about that one here first. Now Kalopanayiotis is where I met my friend Nicolas, and he's actually from this village. This is located in the Nicosia region, and it's a cute little village with lovely Christmas market, lots of stores of handmade items and local foods to buy. You can grab some local hot red wine and enjoy by the fire and take in the mountain views and festive spirit while enjoying all the twinkly lights. Next up is Fikardou. Now this is a small village with less than 40 buildings and a population of just 38. Now I didn't know what to expect. I just read online that it's an old settlement that has retained its traditional medieval characteristics. Now the road that I took was via Odu and Farmagas, and this had some of the best views of the mountain ranges. Now Fikardou is high up in the mountain, 900 meters high, with views all around. You're greeted with Christmas music and the market stalls selling food, drink and handcraft items from the local villages. Up the top there is a little hut that you can take your kids for face painting and see Father Christmas. You can also take a walk through the medieval village to enjoy some food and drink and get some of the best views from the rooftops. To my surprise, just as I was about to leave, there was a medieval show. One of the most popular Christmas markets on the island is in Pano Lefkara, located between Limassol and Larnaca. The village streets are lit up with twinkly lights. The square is full of stalls for food and drink. And there's also plenty of stores selling craft items such as lace and silver jewellery, which is what Lefkara is known for. If you take a walk through the streets of Lefkara, there are few places set up for photo opportunities, with the main attraction being just outside the boutique hotel Agros, which is decorated beautifully. So if you're a couple looking for something romantic, this is the place to be. Now on my final day, I visited two villages, which is Kyperounta and Agros. Kyperounta again is located high in the mountains at almost 1,000 meters high. The drive here was lovely, passing through the villages of Gadomilos and Potamisa and Dimes. This is a large village, but the Christmas village itself is quite small compared to the others that I've seen so far. This looks lovely on the tops of the mountain. There was a Santa's workshop for kids and a cute little central village with food, drinks, and again crafts to buy. A 15-minute drive from Kyperounta is the village of Agros, and this is another popular Christmas market. As it was the weekend, this was a very busy market. There was lots of stalls for food and drink and plenty of craft items to buy. They even had live music. Additionally, if you have kids, you can grab the train ride which will take you around the village. What I would do is I will leave some links to the event guides I found so you can see the Christmas schedule for 2024, and this will give you an idea for future years when you visit for Christmas. Now let's talk about getting around Cyprus. First option is you have taxis, and these are available in the city or between cities. Now, if you're going to take a taxi from one city to the other, it's going to be a little bit expensive, so you're better off getting a connecting transfer, and this will be a little bit more feasible. However, I would recommend hiring a car, and this will give you more freedom to travel, especially when going into the mountains to visit all the Christmas villages. The roads are in very good condition and the highways are good. Depending where you stay, it can take around an hour to an hour and a half between cities, and in the mountains you might need up to 2 hours to get to a village due to the windy mountain roads with awesome views. Driving is on the left hand side, just like the UK. Now the villages in Cyprus are small, so if you are visiting some of these markets, go early because finding a car parking space will be a challenge, or you just park down the road and you just have to walk all the way up. Parking in the city is relatively easy as well. You'll either find open lots which are free, or they'll be very cheap, around 2 to 3 euros for a good few hours, maybe even a day. It's very relaxed here. Car hire costs will vary of course, and this will range between 8 to 25 euros a day depending on the vehicle of your choice and any extras like insurance. Fuel at the time of filming is an average €1.39 per litre. Christmas in Cyprus is a feast for the senses. You'll find everything from souvlaki pita with juicy pork or chicken cubes in pita bread to the iconic souvla, lamb or pork grilled to perfection over charcoal. For a heartier dish, try gleftigo, which is slow cooked lamb marinated with lemon and herbs, or loganigo, Cypriot sausages infused with wine and spices. And for drinks, nothing beats local brews like Kio or locally brewed Carlsberg. And for dessert, you have options like lokmades, Greek donuts covered in honey, goulouria, or roasted chestnuts with warmed mulled wine. You can also indulge in the festive hotel dining with Christmas buffets and traditional roast turkeys. Cyprus at Christmas is a pure foodie heaven. As for spending money, I would say between 50 to 100 euros a day for food and drink, and this excludes accommodation, transportation and shopping. For a good dinner, you could expect between 20-30 euros per head depending on alcohol consumption. Also, just throwing this out there, a Big Mac is around 6 euros, and for an extra €1.50 you can get 4 chicken nuggets. And McDonald's in Cyprus, people have said, is one of the best in the world as well. Now here are some of my personal tips if you're visiting Cyprus during Christmas. Now, if you're in the city and you're crossing the road, wait for the cars to stop. Cypriots don't believe in red lights, and even if the signal is green for you to cross, make sure the car actually stops first. Now, Cyprus has adopted the UK plug socket, so if you are planning to visit Cyprus, make sure you pick up a travel plug. Now, when you're traveling abroad, mobile data can be really expensive, especially if you want to keep in touch with people back home during Christmas. I would recommend either getting a data pass with your network provider, or you can opt for a local SIM here in Cyprus. They're pretty inexpensive, and for around 10 euros you can get 50 gigabytes of data, and the networks out here are actually really good. Also, there's free Wi-Fi available at nearly every restaurant or bar. Also, bring a camera. Cyprus has some awesome landscapes and you don't want to miss out. Drone flying here in Cyprus is also pretty relaxed. As Cyprus is an EU country, it follows the EASA rules. So if you have an EASA license, you can already fly your drone here. And if you haven't and you want to fly your drone here, you just need to register and it's only 15 euros. I will put links in the description box down below. So next Christmas, why don't you try something different and visit the island of Cyprus? Enjoy its warm climates, picturesque Christmas villages and amazing food. Let me know in the comments which you like best. And before I go, YouTube says to check this video out next.